Hello, my name is Madeline Rivera, and I'm presenting on the epidemiological study analysis of the Honolulu Heart Study. The study began in 1965, and it focused on cardiovascular disease in Japanese American men. There were prior studies that focused on different demographics and cultural backgrounds, which failed to include Japanese American men, which drive this study to bridge the gap in public health. In the pie chart, you can see that heart disease is one of the leading causes of death in US adults, especially in comparison to other conditions. The Honolulu Heart Study is a big epidemiological investigation that began in 1965 and continued through multiple decades. It had a primary objective of identifying the different risk factors associated with cardiovascular disease in a given population. The population was Japanese American men residing in Hawaii. The study recruited 8,006 males of Japanese descent, ages 45 and 68, which aimed to reveal how genetic predispositions, different lifestyle choices, and environmental factors can contribute to the development of heart disease and mortality rates. The study was motivated by different observations which were made in the post-World War II era, which showed that different Japanese men living in the US exhibited different cardiovascular rates in comparison to other counterparts. This can suggest that different lifestyle changes can influence cardiovascular health outcomes in the population. The Honolulu Heart Study was mainly established to investigate these different trends and to provide data that can help public health strategies to create awareness of heart disease and create more preventative strategies. The study is unique in the sense that it captures different characteristics in ethnic backgrounds while also exposing the different lifestyles, which can create opportunity to understand interaction between cultural background and environmental influences on cardiovascular health. It continues to be one of the longest running studies in the United States, which focuses only on heart health. It is a prospective study, meaning that they continue to collect data over a certain length of time to compare at the end and gather accurate results. The Honolulu Heart Study utilized a specific design which enrolled participants in the mid-1960s. It tracked their health outcomes over a period of time. Upon the initial enrollment, baseline evaluations were collected. They each underwent comprehensive baseline evaluation exams, which included physical exams that measured their initial blood pressure, heart rate, and body mass index levels. They also collected blood samples, which analyzed for cholesterol levels, glucose, and other biomarkers at baseline. Additionally, different surveys were also administered to gather information on different lifestyle factors, such as the different dietary habits, smoking habits, alcohol consumption rates, and the daily physical activity. The data on the participants' medical histories also included their family health background and their different rates. Through the study, there was also follow-up assessments, which lasted every 2 to 3 years, which monitored the health status, and it also allowed for update of the data. It even focused on different conditions such as smoking and strokes and dementia, which were incorporated to allow for a more in-depth exploration of the health-related conditions. The data was tracked through different death certificates and autopsy results, ensuring the cause of death to allow for accurate analysis. The type of approach allowed for different long-term effects to be examined to include the different risk factors and the long-term cardiovascular outcomes, including heart disease and stroke. The findings from the Honolulu Heart Study also found linkage between hypertension, cholesterol levels, and heart disease. It stressed the importance of diet and physical activity in cardiovascular health. It also provided us with insight into how these factors are correlated and how the interaction can affect cardiovascular health. The findings provided insight into the role of lifestyle and environmental factors, especially among Japanese American men. One of the key findings was that men in Hawaii exhibited higher rates of coronary heart disease in comparison to other counterparts in Japan, which were likely due to the lifestyle changes such as increased dietary fat and reduced physical activity in comparison to those of Japanese American descent. The study also contributed to understanding the different subtypes across populations. It had unique data on stroke incidence. It also demonstrated that modifying lifestyle changes and smoking habits can lead to a significant reduction in the risk of cardiovascular disease. These findings had a major influence on public health strategies, both in the United States and internationally. They really provided information on guidelines and prevention and how simple lifestyle changes can change your risk of cardiovascular disease. In conclusion, the Honolulu Heart Study was very instrumental in understanding knowledge about the complexity between genetics, lifestyle, and environment in the prevention of cardiovascular disease. It focused highly on the diet, which Japanese American men had a high intake of fish and vegetables, which were associated with lower heart disease risk. There was also higher exercise activity, which is linked to reduction in incidence of heart disease. It also identified a significant risk factor of smoking, with smokers showing higher rates of cardiovascular disease compared to non-smokers. It just proved that participants with healthier lifestyle choices continued to live longer and had better overall health outcomes. By focusing on the Japanese American population, it shared a common ethnic background, but they experienced different lifestyles. This study provided unique insight into the risk factors for heart disease and stroke, the different types of follow-up with each of the participants, and the collection of medical and also lifestyle data allowed for unique gathering of data, and it allowed us to identify different modifiable risk factors which can contribute to the prevention of cardiovascular disease. This was able to address cardiovascular health outcomes in the future. The study also had very significant public health outcomes. It shaped heart disease prevention strategies as a whole, and it just contributed to the understanding of cardiovascular disease. It was also opening the door to ongoing research for heart health across different diverse populations. It was crucial in bridging the different gaps in public health. It highlighted the influence of ethnicity and lifestyle on cardiovascular health, especially on a diverse population that was not studied before. It underscored the importance of understanding the cultural and environmental factors in developing public health strategies aimed to help all different populations. It also emphasized the need for tailored health interventions for each demographic, as the risk factors may vary. It also demonstrates that modifiable lifestyle behaviors can change the risk factors. It provided a foundation for public health policies to promote prevention through diet, exercising, and smoking cessation, particularly in populations who had an increased risk due to the changes in lifestyle. With that being said, the study made a lasting contribution to global efforts to combat cardiovascular disease and improve overall population health. Like any other study, there was also a slight limitation that was the cohort was predominantly male and of Japanese descent only, which may limit the generalizability of findings to other populations. It did not include females, and it did not include different ethnic backgrounds to compare it to. However, this may have served also as a benefit because Japanese American males had not yet been studied. However, the dedication of tracking the participants in a prospective study over decades emphasized the importance of long-term studies in epidemiology for understanding chronic diseases. Thank you so much for listening.